This is year to date. So this is the first 6 months of the year. So you'll see year to date sales are up, or down I should say, 5.5%. So if you think about January and February, it was pretty weak, right? March wasn't so great. And then April, May, and June, things started to pick up a little bit. I would almost call it a bit of a late spring because in many markets, June sales were actually higher than May sales, which isn't always the case. And the national average price, not benchmark, average price was up 0.5%. So we look at the first half of the year overall in Canada, and I'll get into specific markets. You can see that sales down, which I think was a big cause of the first 3 months, but our average price is up 0.5%. So there's an example right there. Sales are down, prices are up. Why? All based on months of inventory. So here's the last, let's call it 11 years. And if you look at these numbers, I find them really interesting. In 2021, we all know what happened in 2020. It was insane, right? We did 666,000 sales in 2021, the biggest year in the history of Canada. But let's look at last year. We did 470,000 sales last year, right across Canada. Canadian Real Estate Association has just come out and they have reforecast 463,336 sales. What do I think about that number? I think it might be a little better than that. I think we might do a little better than that, but let's just say that's what the number is. But here's what's interesting. If you look at the sales in 2021, 666,000. And if we forecast 463,000 in 2026, that is down 30% from the peak. When I look at that, what that tells me is all of a sudden the pie was this big before and it shrunk down to this. Now, is that a bad market? Well, I'm going to look at it and say, let's go back and look at the last 11 years. So we look at the last 11 years, how many years were over 500,000 sales? I think we had 5. But other than that, they were all sort of below 500,000, weren't they? When I look at these numbers, then what I think to myself is I go, yes, the market is off. It's off 30% from 2021. But ladies and gentlemen, 2021 was an anomaly. That wasn't normal. We shouldn't even use that as a comparison. I just put it in here because I want you to see. But if you look at it, if we get to around 500,000 sales, then we're in what I would call a very normal market. So you look all across Canada with 160,000 realtors, and we do 463,000 sales, and 500 is relatively normal. See, we're not that far off, if you know what I'm saying.